Jeremy Corbyn will outline Labour's plan to help the country's social care system in a speech in central London in a few minutes' time. It comes as the Labour leader tries to get the party back on track following the resignation of two of his MPs in as many weeks. Well, in the last few minutes, he arrived at the Fabian Society and had this to say to our political correspondent, Tamara Cohen.
Hello, Corbyn. Morning. Sky News. Are you expecting any more resignations of your MPs?
Not at all. We've got a very good meeting this morning about social justice and justice in our economic system.
And do you think that you're going to be able to win the by-election in Stoke?
We're delighted at the opportunity of putting our case towards people in Copeland down in Stoke.
But you're confident of winning, though?
Of course I'm confident.
So Labour's going to have to keep both of those seats.
We're going to fight very hard and we're going to get the support. Thank you very much.
And what about the Fabian Society saying you must face boycotts over elections?
Well, let's speak to the director for centre-left think tank Progress, Richard Angell. A very good morning to you, Richard. What would you like, what do you expect Jeremy Corbyn to say this morning?
Well, this morning all of the Labour Party is going to be talking about the health crisis that's happening in this country, the funding that's desperately needed for health and social care in this country. They go together and they're currently straining at the seams as people are on beds and trolleys in corridors, desperately needing the health service this winter. And simultaneously, the Prime Minister is trying to deflect the responsibility her and her party have for this crisis by trying to blame GPs for somehow not opening at weekends and not working through their lunch hours. This is slightly bizarre. So Labour's absolutely focused on the key issue the public are talking about today, which is getting the right health and social care service this country needs and deserves, and getting us out of the crisis that Jeremy Hunt has created for us.
Jeremy Corbyn's had a pretty tricky 24 hours or so. I mean, he's coming out with this speech. This at a time that many people will say will be overshadowed, given the fact that Tristram Hunt, the most high-profile centre-left Labour politician, resigned. Is his message going to be able to push through that? Is he going to be able to get out to the public at large?
Well, we hope it will, and if he stays focused on the main message of how the Tories are mishandling the NHS, how the social care crisis is taking place. But around us there's the opportunity where the rest of the world are recognising the talents of the moderate wing of the Labour Party with Tristram Hunt and Jamie Reid, and it's time that he recognised some of those and brought the party together so we can all cohere with the same message going forward and focus on the real issues that the public are talking about. And it's welcome that there's proper action on health today.
Do you think he will outline in detail exactly how he's going to do? Because he does get accused, doesn't he, of coming out with ideas and saying the system is unfair and the system has been rigged by those who run Britain, yet at the same time not giving people any clear idea, clear indication of how he's going to change this current system that he's talking about?
Well, it is worth saying the current system is rigged and is unfair for many working people out there, and the focus of the Labour Party is to try and rectify those things. But you're right, a serious leader of the opposition doesn't just come up with the rhetoric lines and try and ape a kind of Trump-like strategy of saying things that get responses, but not just build an argument, but win an argument and show that we've got a real alternative to what the Tories are doing. Yes, we should rightly blame them for the crisis they've got, and we're right to talk about some of the solutions to that. We've got to have a big narrative that talks to all of those issues on health, on education, and crucially, on a better economy for working people.
Interesting that he's given this speech at the Fabian Society. This is an organisation that quite recently said that he'll struggle to win 20% of the vote. They cited the huge meltdown of support that we saw in Scotland. Also cited the party leader's unpopularity and muffled approach to Brexit. He's on a real uphill struggle this early into 2017.
Well, the Fabian Society do incredibly important work, and of course the leader of the Labour Party would speak at their event. And the research that they said that looks like Labour would go down to 150 MPs at the next election should be a wake-up call for all of us. We cannot give the Tories a free ride at the next election and a free card to having the keys to number 10 again. So it's a call out for Jeremy Corbyn, for his team, for all of us to step up to the plate on this issue, because none of us want to see us going backwards again as a party, as we did under Ed Miliband. It's time to go forward and take them on. And if Jeremy Corbyn doesn't take that challenge and really meet the need to answer the issues the public are talking about, then we're going to find ourselves in a difficult place, and the Tories are going to get away scot-free with a terrible Brexit, terrible state of the NHS. So he should hopefully listen to the Fabians' message to him this morning, as he, of course, gives a message to their members this morning.
And on the point of meeting the needs of people, I mean, in order to do well in the general election, he needs to secure cities like Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, surrounding areas. The Societies has accused him of having a muddled approach to Brexit. That's not going to be an easy thing to achieve.
We've got to hold those cities that Labour traditionally has done very well in, and that is absolutely true. Lots of those places voted Remain. But we've got to reach out into the market towns of this country, into the commuter and suburban areas too. And we need a big, strong message that does that. Anti-austerity rhetoric and being against things isn't going to cohere as an alternative strategy for government. And that's what Jeremy Corbyn's got to focus on. He's had 30 years as an oppositionist, as being outside the system and talking about why everything's wrong. It's time for him to be a serious grown-up politician, to talk about what could be put right, and that's the challenge that's put to him now, and I really hope that he takes that opportunity.
And on the idea of the challenge that's been put to him now, I mean, the zeitgeist at the moment seems to be very anti-establishment, given the Brexit results, given the success of Donald Trump in the United States. Is he trying to sail on those winds? Is he trying to capture the mood at this moment in time?
Well, if you're trying to capture the mood of a populist movement in America, it's not going to do very well in a British political system, it seems to me. We have a parliamentary democracy where you win community by community. Being against things in a series of ways won't work. There will be some credit for somebody who's been outside the system, but ultimately when you want the keys to be on the inside of the system, people want somebody who, when they've got their hands on the tiller, will be able to keep our national security safe, will be able to run the economy properly, will look after our key public services and run them effectively. So the outside of things great for some press lines, but I think you've got to be the insider that can bring the system with you, because ultimately you don't change it by rallying against it, you change it by bringing it with you. Leaders are most successful when they crowd people behind them, not just jeer and shout at them about what is wrong.
And Richard, in the last 2 months, 2 Labour resignations. Jamie Reid, which is opening a by-election in Copeland. We're seeing Tristan Hunt. He has resigned. He's become the director of the V&A Museum. Do you anticipate, do you expect more resignation in the coming weeks and months?
It's not something that I'm expecting, no, but it is nice to see the world out there recognise the talent in the moderate wing of the Labour Party. What we've got to do internally now is bring those people together, cohere those ideas, show that whether it's Caroline Flint tackling tax avoidance, or Wes Streeting standing up for the rights of students in his bill committee, or the many other things that are happening, that the moderate wing of the Labour Party has got something exciting to say for the country, for the party, and if we can bring that together, I think we can make sure that Labour's on the best footing going forward.
OK, Richard Angell, many thanks indeed for joining us this morning.